Welcome to Styled Clean, from toxins to truth, one thread at a time, where we press pause on fast fashion and pull back the curtain on what's really stitched into our clothes. This is the podcast where we go behind the seams, follow the threads to their source, and rediscover fashion as an act of environmental stewardship. Hosted by Kathleen Audette, stylist and image consultant. This show is for people who believe their clothing is more than fabric. It's a living story that touches your spirit, your body, your mind, and your values. Styled Clean is where fashion meets stewardship. If you're ready to cultivate a wardrobe that honors your values and an ethical closet, you're in the right place. Now, let's unravel today's episode.
My guest today is Terry Townsend, who has worked at the USDA and the International Cotton Advisory Committee during a 43-year career in the cotton industry. He continues to support natural fibers as a consultant and as a statistician for the Discover Natural Fibers Initiative, DNFI. He has a PhD in agricultural and resource economics from Oregon State University. He has spent his career in the cotton world, and today he shares his extensive knowledge discussing the complexities of cotton production, the challenges faced by farmers, and the intricate supply chain that brings cotton from the field to your clothing. This is a fascinating look into who and what cotton really is. Welcome to the podcast. It's nice to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here. A beautiful day in Houston, South Texas. It's always fun to talk about cotton and natural fibers.
Great. I'm really glad to have you. And my first question right out of the gate is that you have spent your career inside the cotton world. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
About my career or the cotton world?
Yeah.
The career. Yeah, well, I
inside the cotton world.
Yeah. I graduated from Iowa State University in 1974, my first professional job, so to speak. I was in the Peace Corps on an island in the Western Pacific and got interested particularly in trade issues, and came back, graduated, got a master's and a PhD in ag marketing from Oregon State University. And I was hired by USDA as a wheat marketing specialist. I spent 2 years in Eastern Oregon, which is a wheat barley region, talking to farmers about marketing opportunities, how you operate the U.S., how they navigated the U.S. cotton program. That's back in an era we used to have paid land diversions. There was something called PIC, payment in kind. The program was oriented at supply management rather than demand enhancement as it is now. So programs were more complicated. I was hired by USDA to come to Washington and be a wheat analyst. When I got there, the wheat job, it's a bureaucratic thing. It has to do with rules inside USDA. The wheat job was not open. They told me they need somebody in cotton. It would just be for a short time, just a couple of weeks. They would solve this bureaucratic issue, get these forms filed and that sort of thing. And so wheat was my first love, and I would be able to shift to wheat. Well, 50 years later, I was still working in cotton. You get consumed by the cotton industry, the culture, the history of it, and the impact of cotton on everybody's lives. There are 8.4 billion people in the world, and give or take a few 100 million, every one of them touches cotton every day. The cotton industry has grown in 80 countries around the world. There are, when you count seasonal labor, there are between 100 and 150 million people who are earning their livelihoods in the agricultural segment of the cotton value chain. I'm not talking about textiles, and I'm not talking about, retail apparel. You've got, trillions of dollars and hundreds of millions of more people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking just growing cotton, putting seeds in the ground, tending the crop, harvesting the crop, getting it to a gin, getting a gin. Just that. 100 to 150 million people, and that's over 1% of the world population is earning their livelihoods in the cotton industry. And so you get drawn in, and Cotton, the culture of cotton around the world is very collaborative. Of course, people are competitive. So you've got Brazil competing against the U.S. in export markets, the U.S. competing against West Africa in export markets. You've got Supima grower. That's a specialty crop, specialty cotton grown in California, competing against Egyptian cotton. Of course, there's competition, but the cotton industry is highly collaborative and highly just welcoming to people. And I got welcomed in, and you end up staying. And I've had a great career. Very interesting.
That's amazing. That brings me to the question of having been in the industry so long and understanding it so well, what's the one truth about cotton production or even cotton performance, and you can go in any direction you want here, that consumers almost never hear, like some of the stuff we just heard from you now, but they should?
Well, I would answer, of course, there are many things, but I would answer, most consumers don't have any idea how hard it is to grow cotton, how hard it is just to produce the cotton, how many decisions have to be made, how much capital is invested in machinery, just how many things that can go wrong, and that problems that farmers have to overcome. Cotton is different from most of the other row crops. Row crop meaning crops like corn, wheat, that are planted in rows and harvested in rows, in that it's a broadleaf perennial. So you think of agriculture, most crops are narrowleaf, meaning they're a grass crop, and they're annuals. So wheat, it grows every year, and you harvest it, and it that's the way wheat, corn, rice, that's the way they are. Cotton is actually a tree. If you allowed it to do so, in some countries it does. It grows into a tree. The problem with being a broadleaf is that it's got more surface area for insects to attack or to be attractive to. It's got that rich, juicy cotton boll early in its growing phase. What's going to become cotton is a juicy liquid, very high in protein and sugars that insects and deer and other animals just love. And you have to protect it from those animals because it's a perennial. It's a host of particular diseases that have to be controlled. And so cotton is considered a highly technical crop. And a lot of the agricultural research that has been conducted by the United Nations, the Food and Agriculture Organization, or is conducted at land-grant universities or the equivalent in other countries, is conducted on cotton because it is a technical crop. And if it works on cotton, it's almost always going to work on the grass, the narrowleaf plants like wheat or like corn or like rice.
Wow.
So
it's a benchmark.
The basic concept of farmer field schools, for instance, which are now the accepted methodology for technology transfer around the world. Those were pioneered in the cotton industry with cotton farmers back in the 1960s. Basic use of pesticides. Pesticide is an umbrella term for herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, nematicides, all of these, how they interact, how you use different classes of chemicals